Did you know the average woman only wears 20 to 30% of the items hanging in her closet? Which means despite all of our clothes, we end up wearing the same pieces over and over and over again. So how does this happen? And more importantly, what can we do to fix it? For those of you who are members of the Petite Revolution, you likely saw the Closet Cure offer a couple weeks ago, where clients and I take a look at their closet, put together new outfits from the items they already have, and identify any gaps that would make getting dressed easier. All that to say, I've been invited into a lot of new closets lately, and there are 5 common traps that we're consistently falling into, which is creating this closet packed with clothes, yet nothing to wear kerfuffle. So that's what we're going to tackle in today's episode, the common mistakes and what we can do instead. So by the end, you'll know exactly how to stop this endless cycle of buying things that don't get us any closer to our style goals. I'm Angela, your Petite Style Coach, and when you're ready, let's dive in. Welcome to Inside Petite Style, the only podcast created exclusively for women 5'3" and under. If you're tired of pants that drag on the ground, sleeves that swallow up your hands, and want a wardrobe that actually fits your height, flatters your body shape, and works for your real life, you are in the perfect place. I'm your host, Angela Foster, Petite Style Coach and creator of the Spark Style Method. When you're ready, let's get this style party started. Mistake number 1, shopping on social. We've all done it. We're hanging out on the couch after a long day with a glass of wine, scrolling through Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok, whichever is your platform of choice, and come across an image and think, oh my gosh, that looks cute. And before you know it, you're tapping add to cart. 2 weeks later, some mysterious package from Germany or China is arriving on your doorstep. Now, besides for the lack of sustainability and the questionable labor practices, there's also the quality, which is usually very poor. Then there's the fit, which is usually super wonky and really feels like it was made for a 12-year-old girl. Besides for all that, impulse shopping like that rarely fills a gap in our wardrobe that actually makes getting dressed in the morning easier. Then there's the wasted money, because if you've ever tried to return those items, the company either never gets back to you or they put you through so many hoops that you eventually just throw up your hands and walk away. The big takeaway from mistake number 1 is when we shop on social, only buy from companies you've heard of before and that you know have a good reputation. If the item looks so good, go ahead and tap add to cart, but don't pull the trigger until the next day. If you're still fantasizing about the item and how amazing it's going to be, then the next morning, go for it. But more than likely, you'll have totally forgotten about it and you can confidently walk away without fear of missing out. Mistake number 2, getting sucked into the algorithm. My girlfriend and I are on a big kick to avoid microplastics. A couple weeks ago, we're on the phone talking about cutting boards, and the second we hang up, I get inundated with ads on my search engine's homepage from Williams-Sonoma trying to sell me a $300 wood cutting board. This is not an I hate the algorithm spiel, because really, for the most part, it makes life easier. Although eavesdropping on our conversation's kind of creepy, but that's a concern for another day. But when it comes to clothes, the algorithm is one of the biggest reasons our closet is in such a hullabaloo. Because here's what happens. Say you go to search for petite black pants. You find a pair and you buy a pair. Then for days, even weeks afterward, every time you go online or you go on social media, gobs of ads for petite black pants pop up. And you're like, well, those are cute. Those are cute too. So we end up with a bajillion black pants, but no tops to wear with them. Don't get sucked into the algorithm, because as smart as it is, it doesn't actually know what you need, which leads us right into the next mistake, number 3, which is not having a plan. If you and I have been hanging out for any length of time, you've likely heard me say it again and again. We need a plan. Think about those days where you're tired, it's after work, whatever. You know you don't have any food in the house and that people are going to want to eat. So you go to the grocery store hoping that something will magically pop up at you and think like, this is perfect. You get home $200 later and have vinegar, garbage bags, and shredded cheese and still nothing to actually make a meal. And we're like, okay, well, that was dumb. Let's not do that again. Yet we do it all the time with our clothes, either online or in person. We see things, they pop out at us and we buy them, but at the end of the day, they don't actually create an outfit. So the big takeaway for mistake number 2 and number 3 is to make a list of gaps in your closet, prioritize them by which pieces are actually going to have the most impact, and then stick to it. Which leads us right into mistake number 4, which is buying items, not outfits. Because once you have your gaps filled in, the last thing we want to do is create more. Here's what often happens. You go to Nordstrom and you're walking down the aisle, and hanging on a rack is a forest green pencil skirt. It's by one of your favorite brands. They actually have your size in stock. And even more exciting, it's the anniversary sale and the price is half what it's going to be a couple weeks from now. On the surface, it's a win-win-win. Yet, when you get home, the blouse you were going to pair it with is the wrong color. It's too bright, it's too dark, whatever. But you do have a sweater that might work, so you try them on. But it's too long, the sweater's too casual, it's not the right shape, whatever. By this point, you're like, never mind, I'll figure it out later. So we've either created yet another wardrobe gap we need to fill in, or we hang the skirt up and it stays there collecting dust until we eventually donate it. Versus coming home with that green skirt and one of the blouses that they showed with it. Our takeaway from mistake number 4 is it's always better to come home with a complete outfit than to have created yet another job for ourselves. We are ready for mistake number 5, which is not giving yourself enough time. There are so many places now that carry petite sizes online only, like Bloomingdale's and Banana Republic are 2 that just come right to mind. So thinking we can run to the mall the night before that big meeting doesn't work anymore. Or it leads to panic shopping, which means we end up with pieces in our closet that don't fit and we don't love. Plus, we're so blessed. We have access to every petite brand on the planet, provided they have a website. So with just a little looking ahead, we never have to settle. All that to say, be sure to allow enough time for shipping, trying it on, taking the item to the dry cleaner to have it pressed, and anything else that you might need to do. In case you're curious about how much time, my one-on-one retainer clients and I start outfit planning 6 weeks out, which means they already have what they're wearing for the Thanksgiving holiday and any trips that they have scheduled around that. That's not to say that no surprise events or presentations or business trips pop up. Of course they do, but it's the exception, not the norm. In case you're thinking, what is she talking about? There are not oodles of petite options out there. You'll want to grab your copy of The Best Petite Boutiques. It's a free directory of over 50 brands and designers who create clothes specifically for short girls. There's also links that will take you directly to their petite pages so you don't have to search. Now, it's broken down by career, casual, and curvy to make it easier. And then there's also a section for all those hard to shop for necessities like bras for small boobs and shoes for small feet. Your copy is waiting for you at angelastylecoach.com/BPB for Best Petite Boutiques. I'll also add the link to the show notes so it's easy for you to find. I know I said 5, but here's a bonus tip. Don't shop or try on clothes when you're tired. I've never met any woman who feels as fresh and clear-minded after working for 12 hours as she does earlier in the day. Plus, we've already made 60,000 decisions. When you put those 2 together, we start to get super hypercritical. Our hair's frizzy, our thighs are, or our stomach is, or our upper arms, have they always looked like that? Obviously, not the right mindset to decide if we really like something, or if the mere thought of shipping it back is enough to push us over the edge, so we might as well keep it. Yet another reason why we have all of these clothes and nothing to wear. I bet you know what time it is. Are you ready for a style challenge? Now, not to freak you out, but there are 4 weekends between now and Thanksgiving, and only 9 weekends from now until Christmas, which makes this the perfect time to get a plan together. After you grab your petite shopping directory, think about what are you doing the next 6 weeks? Where are you going? What are you going to wear? And what, if anything, is missing? And of course, if you'd like my support to get started, hop on over to InsidePetiteStyle.com, tap on the coaching tab, and see the different ways that you and I can work together. Be sure to come back next week where we're going to do something a little bit different. we're going to do a deep dive into one of our very favorite petite style icons. How does she always look so good? What inspiration can we take from her and make our own? And a bunch of other fun conversational nuggets. And that, my friend, is a wrap. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Petite Style. When you're ready to create a wardrobe that fits your height, flatters your body shape, and makes getting dressed fun and easy, head over to InsidePetiteStyle.com and take my free Petite Style quiz. You'll get personalized tips and strategies made just for your proportion and your height. And hey, you know that girlfriend who's always rolling up her sleeves and hemming her pants? Share this episode with her. She needs to know she's not alone and that there are real solutions. See you next week. Until then, have fun and stay stylish.
This is for my